So what if I tell you guys that there are not 7 but 10 Archons in Genshin Impact? Surprise, right? Well, last night I was looking at the Archons and Demons connection theory, and yeah, according to this theory, they are not just 7 but 10 Archons. But who are they? Well, we'll find this answer in this video. So for example, all the known Archons are named after demons, spirits from our myths, etc. Such as Morax and Barbatos being from the Archgoisha of the Lesser Key of Solomon from the mid-17th century AD, and Baal, also known as Beelzebub, being much older as the patron deity of the Ponakian Baal cult from 14th to 13th century BC, I guess. With these being said, the term Archon originates from an Iron Age Greece, where Archons were 9 annually elected magistrates who would share religions, military and judicial powers over the Greek city-states. Beginning from 680 BC, I guess, these Archons would also be required to undergo 2 examinations, the first called Dokimatia, which is used for testing physical fitness, military background and treatment of parents. The second examination was called Ithunia, which would judge the candidate's conduct. So these examinations could be loosely be parallel to the system of good candidates receiving visions and then emerging victorious after the Archon War. So if Genshin's lore holds true to the historical features, then I expect there to be 2 more Archons. Probably an Archon of Light and an Archon of Abyss. I still have my doubts that Paimon is an Archon. However, I could see this being possible if MiHoYo chose to follow the history after the political reforms of Clisthenes, which came later in around 500 AD, which introduced the position of the 10th Archon in Greece. In which case Paimon, also a spirit from Archgoisha or another currently unknown being, may fill that role. And I am sure most of us were thinking that there were more than just the 7. Well, let's go more deeper. This is another one of those things that can never be resolved in a satisfying manner without retcon, because it was obviously not thought enough by the players during the world building. So what if some other god had won the Archon War? Currently the only ideas that barely work are the first theory. Other gods have never had the chance, it was all predetermined by a higher entity, even the future successors. Or the second theory, some other aspect of God would be elevated that can match the region's assigned element, which needs to also be assumed changeable. So Urabakshi is actually an easier example to work with, as little is known of what aspect he held domain over, so we can assume any random thing. Cause we don't know whom Archon Urabakshi was, so we can assume anything. But what if Oziel had won? That would be much trickier. He clearly was hydro-themed with ocean and vortices, and he was contesting a region we can relate to Geo today, due to Morax rather than the other region that ended up hydro, like Fontaine. If Oziel would have won, would he have made Leo a hydro, aligned instead? What would happen to Fontaine's region's winner then? First come, first serve, whoever won first. We all know that. But yeah, too much mental gymnastics required to rationalize a thing usually means that this thing isn't the answer we are looking for. We are left with the stark option that the Archons are the chosen ones destined to win. Even if they fail, the higher power would simply throw another god after another of the preferred element as a mismatch winner until they eventually won. Or we can just admit that this is just one more example of Hoyo's shallow world building and just don't think that deep or much. But what do you guys think? Are there any more Archons other than the 7? Comment down your answers below. And now, thanks for watching.